Welcome to Bubbies Know Best podcast edition. I am the one that is forced to wrangle these ball-busting, I mean, beautiful bubbies. And look what I'm dealing with here. Mashugana SJ with her cat. You know our bubbies. So SJ, say hello.
Hello.
How about you, Bubby Linda? Say hi.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Bunny, what are you doing with the fakakta thing on your face? You're
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Oh,
Don't worry.
okay, well, I'm protecting all the bubbies and you. Okay.
Of course you
Hi,
are.
everybody.
My God, this show is going off the rails already. But anyway, later on in the show, we are going to be meeting a tremendous woman. She is African-American, she's LGBT, she's vegan, and she's Jewish. She's very Jewish. You will love meeting Rabbi Sandra Lawson. What's with the fakakta cat? I love cats, but come on already. But today we start with a very special Bubbies interview. Hadas Yaron is joining us. You know Hadas. She plays Libby on the internationally acclaimed, tremendously successful Shtisel, which follows the lives of several Orthodox Jews in the Holy Land. So why don't we start with SJ, you're up, after you get rid of the cat.
Love your show. I watched it all night, everything, both seasons. Oh my God, I'm just like, what a cast. Oh my God, what a cast, girl. Oh, I loved every character. Oh, and I love the gorgeous Michael Aloni. Is that how you pronounce his name? Aloni?
Michael Aloni, Michael Aloni.
Aloni, your love interest. You're so lucky. So tell us, you know what character I really identified with?
Which
The Bubby. The Bubby. It was interesting to see into the world because, you know, I never ever knew that. Well, I knew my nephew was very, very strict, but I didn't know he was that strict.
Yeah.
And I get to see the world and oh my God. So how is it playing an Orthodox Jewish woman like that?
I love it. It's really fun for me. Yeah, I love it because I think there's so many nuances because everything is so subtle and so underneath the lines. So it's really fun to do it for me. Yeah.
Well, Michael what I love about both of you
You're in
is
love with him, aren't you?
I'm in love with him.
Can I just tell you, I have to interrupt. My wife has the hugest crush on him. It is
On me.
ridiculous. It is, and we watched the show. What is it? When the show where they went to South America, the Israeli show that Michael was in.
Heroes Fly.
When heroes fly. I mean, I just got kicked out of the bedroom. It was ridiculous. What's he like? What is he like? He's your love interest. I mean, come on. What's he like?
He's great. He's great. I love him. We're just doing the third season, and
I'm so happy.
Wonderful. Yeah, where everybody's happy.
I just want to know why the father paints on his wife's head the blue. I'm just wondering what's going on with that.
Why is he painting?
Why is the father you're painting on his son's painting?
It's a very funny and painful scene, I think.
Yes.
He just can't stand it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very funny and very. But I love the guy who played your father too. I'm just saying.
Gaston.
I love him. Anyway,
Okay, let's back up. Hello. I want to know, how did you get cast in Shtisel?
It was like 5 years ago, I think. It's been a long, long time. How did I get cast? I just auditioned for it, and that's it.
Like, how is it like season 1 was 2012 and 13, and then season 2 was 2015 and 16, and then season 3, 2020. I mean, how is that for the cast?
It's weird. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy. But I mean, you know, it's such a beautiful, this whole Shtisel thing. I mean, the director, the DOP, all the crew is almost the same. So I see the sound man yesterday, and he's the same sound man from 5 years ago and from 8 years ago. And it's amazing. It's really a beautiful production and a beautiful family. Yeah.
So, Hadas, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I just love Shtisel. And I just have to ask, so why do you think shows like Shtisel and Unorthodox shows which are so much about Orthodox Jews. They're doing so well outside of Jewish communities, and they're also widely successful with audiences around the world. How do you explain that?
I think people are curious. I think people are really curious, and they get it, like they get a chance to see something from the inside. And I think when they sold Shtisel to Netflix, they had no idea that it's going to explode like this. They thought like, okay, it's going to be on Netflix, good for us. And then people just responded to it so beautifully. But I mean, it's really a unique TV show, and it's really
It is unique. And you're unique. Let me ask you, so what were you doing before Shtisel? Were you like a big Israeli TV star, or what?
Don't be humble. I know that you won an Ophir Award. Don't be humble.
I was acting, you know, I was actually acting more outside of Israel than in Israel somehow. But my first big film was also an Orthodox Jewish girl. It was in a film called Fill the Void. And I got the Ophir Award for that.
Right.
Very pressing that you know.
Which is the Israeli Oscar.
Yes. And also the Venice Film Festival Award. It was like a movie that really, also people were so really open to.
So you didn't come from nowhere. You were out there.
I was a bit out there, a bit. Yeah.
So, I have to ask before we talk about someone that's special to you, how is it filming season 3 in the era of COVID? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, we have masks on whenever we're not doing a scene.
Right.
And we try to keep as less, I mean, as how do you say, like not so much people on set, like as much as we can. But actually, is like production going on abroad as well?
So
Not a lot. I think we're kind of like, okay, we can carry on, and I think.
But are you all being tested? Like, obviously, you have a lot of scenes with Mikhail. Are you often tested to make sure that you two?
Obviously, we have sex scenes as well,
Right. No, lucky you, as my wife would say. But how does that work? I mean, do you get tested right before you get close?
We have to just maintain to make sure we don't go out a lot. We stay safe when we're not filming, and if we don't feel well, we don't show up. Like there are a bunch of like new rules. It's a whole thing.
Right. So in Yiddish, a Jewish grandmother is a bubby. In Hebrew, you say safta. I want to show a picture like we do with all of our celebrity guests of your safta.
Hi, Safta.
Is she still with us?
Sweet.
Oh, actually, wait, I want to show you something.
Okay, go.
This picture with the balloons. So I don't know how I'll show you this, but I painted it.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
It was actually during the Corona time when I was at home, and my Safta, I loved her so much, and I missed her a lot. Yeah.
Was she with us when you, for example, won your Ophir Award? Does she know about your success?
The Ophir Award, yeah, she was there.
Great.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, my wife is so jealous that she's not here because she is such a huge fan of Shtisel, you can't even imagine. And the Bubbies, forget it. They love that show. And when we heard that you went into season 3, I didn't even know what to say. I couldn't even keep them calm because they were so excited. It's so rare for a show that's been off the air for 4 or 5 years to go back into production. I mean,
but that's Israel for you, man. I mean, that's Israel.
Exactly.
There was also like a huge gap between the first season and the second season.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was like 3 years, I think. And
Well, I never watched it until now, so for me, it's like
for you, it's
today, honey. Today.
Hadas Yaron, thank you so much for joining us. When we come back, an incredibly special one, Rabbi Sandra Lawson. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bubbies Know Best. So glad we got to meet Hadas Yaron, such a talented actress. Shtisel, such an amazing show. Shtisel, Schnitzel, I don't even know how to say it anymore. But we are now joined by one of my heroes. She doesn't know it, but I've been following her for quite some time on Twitter. We'll talk about her Twitter feed later. Her name is Rabbi Sandra Lawson. She is proudly African-American, proudly LGBT, proudly vegan, and proudly Jewish. Very Jewish, in fact. She, as I said, is a Rebbe. Look at that. There she is at her graduation. She's playing guitar. She's praying. And she is the rabbi at Elon University in North Carolina. What I'd like to do is speak to the rabbi about so many important issues. Linda, why don't you start, Bubby?
So my question is, over the last few months in the wake of George Floyd, we Bubbies have learned a lot about Jews of color. We want to know how this person of color, came to the Jewish faith. Can you help us out here?
So I will say, if you look at any recent study, there have been several studies, but there's been 3 in the last few years, and they put the Jews of color numbers anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20% of the American Jewish population self-identifies as Jews of color.
Amazing.
So that's a really sizable number. Also, what I tell people is that if you read Exodus, I don't have the text in front of me, but the text in Exodus, after we left Egypt, fleeing for our lives, on our way, following some dude in the desert, on our way to a mountain to receive revelation, the text says, Vagam Erev Rav. And so I translate that as, and also a mixed multitude of people left Egypt, as if to remind us that we have always been and will always be a mixed multitude of people.
I'm Bubby SJ.
SJ. Oh my God, what's your middle, what's the J
Jane.
for?
Jane is my, Sandra Jane is my name.
I'm Sandra Jean. Oh my God.
That's interesting. Well, since George Floyd's untimely death, we have done extended episodes with Bubbies and grannies, 3 African-American grannies, and Bubbies and Sisters, which is like, 3 women who are African-American Jews. On Sisters, Brad actually quoted you and said, ally is a verb, not a noun.
I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills remembering that.
What does that mean in practice for you?
Well, first of all, I do write a lot on social media, and so I'm trying to, that sounds like something I would write, I just don't remember. So for me, ally is action. It's like if you really want to be an ally, it means emotional labor, it means physical labor, it means having really hard conversations. It's not, it's more than just thinking about something. And so real allyship, especially right now, may require a lot of discomfort for a lot of people. So that's how I see it.
Now, 2 of the sisters are very important women in my life, the 2 of the women, and God, they're like my daughters. That's the way I think of them. They really, really are smart, brilliant, funny.
Tell Rabbi who one of them is. Because
one of them is Richard Pryor's daughter, Rain.
Oh yeah, I actually been having.
Rain?
Well, no, but recently I got a message from her. I forgot about it. She's starting something, and I need to revisit that because I know who she is, but I don't know her.
If I don't speak to them every day, then I'm a bad Bubby.
That's great.
That's all I'm saying.
I love it. I love it.
Now, I'll share something with you, Rabbi. I was adopted. And in my early days when I went to school, I actually went to Blessed Virgin Mary School, right? So I was a good Catholic, only to find out when I took my DNA test that I am 50% Jewish, So
awesome.
now I understand with you, during your conversion, you found out through your mother that I think it was your grandfather or great-grandfather was an Ethiopian Jew.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to share that with us?
Well, so that's a story that I knew about before I converted, and it's family folklore, and I didn't give it any thought really until after I converted, and divineness, how divine intervention.
My goodness.
Who knows? But it's just this narrative, and for my mom and some of her sisters, I think it meant a lot because it was an alternative narrative to enslavement, where, especially in the early 60s and 70s, for many of the Black community, slavery, instead of being a badge of honor, sort of felt like an embarrassment. And so even the language has changed. We don't say that we were slaves. We say we were enslaved people. And so, for people looking for alternative narratives during that time period, just like a lot of Black people left Christianity, some went to Islam, a few went to Judaism because they didn't like the Christian narrative of, because Christianity was forced on African slaves. And so it's really just a backstory, and I have no way of proving it. And who knows? It could be true. It could have everything to do with why I'm Jewish, or nothing to do with why I'm Jewish.
So this is a picture of your wife, Susan.
Yes.
Okay, but what I've heard about her is, that's you praying. But am I going? Where am I going? There it is. So I hear that she makes a pretty mean challah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if she makes a challah as good as the Bubbies, but what can you tell us about the challah that Susan makes, the wife Susan?
So I'll give you a backstory a little bit. When I arrived at Elon could not find vegan challah, and we had this parents' weekend or something, and I said, I can't say the blessing. I can say the blessing, but I can't eat the challah.
Oh, right.
And so Susan stepped in. She's like, well, I'll just, I'll make 2 halot, and then you'll have that. And when the students tried her challah,
It was better?
oh yeah, and they basically wouldn't eat the bakery, the challah that was ordered for the bakery. And so now Hillel pays for my wife to make challah for all of our events.
Nice.
And the students love it because it's home. Usually by the time it gets to them, it's still warm. And it's interesting because like one of my students, he's a guy, and he brought a guy friend over, like a fraternity guy, and he's like, do you like the challah? And the guy's like, yeah. You know what? It's vegan. And they're like, what? And they're having this whole dude conversation about bread. It was awesome.
I have to tell you something, Bubbies. Rabbi Lawson comes off as very wise and very humble, but the reality is she's kind of famous. She really is. Look at this. She is one of 50 Jews everyone should follow on Twitter. I will. On Twitter, and she has quite the amazing feed. So I am telling our audience 2 things. Follow Rabbi Sandra on Twitter and the Bubbies of Bubbies Know Best.
The puppy.
Yes, you guys are so great.
So Rabbi, as I said, I've been following you for quite some time. You are an inspiration to so many of us, and we are so proud of your success. The Bubbies want to thank you. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to do that. I would really be happy to come back or just talk to you. You guys are great. This is awesome.
We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, thank you.
So when we come back, it's Bubbies Reactor. We're going to go for Guess the Grandma. We'll be right back.
Okay, bye-bye.
We're back on Bubbies Know Best. God, that Rabbi Sandra is so wise, such wisdom. I mean, you could feel it just popping out of the screen. So here's our new game. I love this game. It's called Guess the Grandma. And in this edition, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the picture of a famous actress. She's very well known, but you may not realize that she has a famous grandmother. She has famous parents that you probably know, but I don't think you know that she has a famous grandmother, and I want you to try to guess who her grandmother is. I'm going to give you 3 choices. Okay, so here's our famous actress, Zoe Kravitz. She has famous parents. She also has a famous grandmother, a famous Bubby. I want you to try to guess who it is. So here are your 3 choices. Is Zoe Kravitz's grandmother Diane Carroll? You know her from Julia. Is it Nichelle Nichols? You know her from Star Trek. Or is it Roxy Roker? You know her from The Jeffersons. What do you think? Let's start with Bubby Bunny.
Oh, I'm just going to say Michelle Nichols.
You think it's Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek? Okay. What do you think, Bubby Linda? Based upon the look.
Well, I was thinking it could be either Michelle Nichols or the last one was
Roxy Roker?
Roxy Roker. So I'll just go for Roxy Roker.
Okay, you're going to go with Roxy Roker. What do you think, Bubby SJ?
Roxy Roker for sure.
You think it's Roxy Roker? Okay, so let's give it a shot. I'm going to show you the choices one more time. Here we go. We have Roxy Roker, Nichelle Nichols, Diane Carroll, Nichelle Nichols, Roxy Roker. There it is. It's Roxy Roker from the Jefferson.
Whoa, okay.
You know
Well,
already.
good for you, Bubby. SJ, you did it.
SJ, did you know that her grandmother was Roxy Roker? You knew already, kind of historically. But Linda, you
I'm
guessed.
sorry, Linda. I
That's
already
okay.
knew. I
But-
knew.
Okay.
That's okay. But
Lenny Kravitz, that's Lenny Kravitz's mother.
But can I tell you, I didn't know. I mean, obviously, Zoe Kravitz's father is Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz.
Mother is Lisa Bonet.
Right.
Roxy Roker married a nice Jewish boy, and
Saul
that's Lenny
Kravitz. I forget his- Yeah, Kravitz.
Kravitz, and that's where he gets
Yeah,
his Jewish
gorgeous.
heritage.
Just and that Lisa Bonet, her mother is drop dead gorgeous, right?
Lisa Bonet's mother?
No, Lisa Bonet is gorgeous.
Oh, she is
gorgeous. Oh my
There's
God.
no question.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, what a phenomenal show we've had
my
today with Hadas Yaron and Rabbi Sandra Lawson. And here we have Bubby's podcast. Yep, you can go to the website right there. And we're now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, tune in wherever you want. You can get it on podcast, or you can watch us on Monday nights at 8 o'clock on JLTV. There is our email, bubbiesknowbest@jltv.tv, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, our Teespring store. Come on, it's time to buy some merch, like a mask. And look,
Yes.
after we show our backstage crew, like me and Michael and the other two, look at Bunny with her mashuga and a
Well,
mask.
I'm ready to go. I love being with everyone, but I gotta go now.
You gotta go. Okay, everyone. Love you.
Bye.
All right, Bunny. All right, take it then to hey, my darling. Goodbye.
Yeah. What she said.